Look at that. That's right outside the trailer we're staying in. Can't wait to go get a real good look at it.
Ooh, bacon and sausage quiche for breakfast.
Now you have to take 2 cards. Guys, look, guys, take 2 cards.
Hey, don't blame me if there's an exploding chicken right here.
Well, you're actually able to.
Kitty just wants the treat.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to City Sowers, or should I say Roots and Refuge. We're at Roots and Refuge Farm right now, and we're gonna do some walking around and exploring. But I have gotten some updates on my own garden at home, that we have eggplants that are setting, and that my little finger lime tree that was really struggling and limping along last year has 8 baby limes on it. I'm like, yes! So, very awesome, very exciting. But now we get to walk around and we'll kind of explore Roots and Refuge property here. So, come on.
So, immediately upon arrival, all the kids are fast friends. Audrey and Caleb and Nathan are just loving hanging out with all of Jess's kids.
Audrey, can you get a sweater instead of your robe?
I don't need it, something.
Oh, look at the
Go put it in
puppies.
the trailer.
This is Bear and Con. Con's a big old Great Dane here. Pup, hello. And this is Bear. He's a sweetie too. Goats in a wagon. A intern. And 3 babies. Ben works here at Roots and Refuge for a few years, or a couple years. And he is just making some moving stuff happen today. These goats are started on one side of the farm, and now they're on the other. He's been at it since early in the morning. Jesse's famous garden. Oh, hey, Audrey.
Do you want to go see some turkeys?
Sure, let's go see some turkeys.
Oh, careful.
Good morning, ladies.
What?
These goats are massive compared to ours at home.
Yep. And they're as tall as your hip instead of your knee.
Yeah. Ben is moving, I think that's Pearl, he's feeding right now.
This is the goatyard now?
Yeah. Make sure they don't get out.
So this is the woods goatyard.
That's right.
Wow, there's so many goats.
It's amazing. And all this is like 5 acres, something like that? 6 acres? It's amazing how much they do with this area. Look at all the turkeys. Hey, do these turkeys have names?
I don't know. My name was called Bob.
Bob.
I'm going Christina.
There you go.
If you want to get an egg, just run in and run out.
Yeah, okay.
The black one is Bob. The black one.
You've talked about having turkeys before. Is that still something on your list?
Oh, totally. That's something I want to do.
I love turkeys, especially around November.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be great to raise the Thanksgiving turkey.
Good times.
So cool.
Now check this out over here. They have pigs, mangalitas. You can see one sticking his head out, one sticking his booty out. So Amanda, tell me what you know about these, or share with our viewers. What are you seeing here?
What do I see? Well, the red hens here are they're bourbon reds. And the gray ones are blue slate turkeys.
So any of those ones with like the big red wattle, those are the males.
Yes.
And then the more delicate looking ones are obviously the hens.
Yes.
Are they roosters or drakes, or what do you call
They're
a turkey?
toms.
Ah, okay.
A mature turkey male is a tom, and an immature turkey is a jake.
And an immature human is a David. Do you have a
Ooh, the sun.
katana with you?
Yeah.
Let's see it. You can never be too safe. What fun. Fun on the farm. What kids, man. Chasing ducks. Caleb's got Pearl the goat following him over there. Mangalites, hairy pigs. That's amazing. And these two here are spotted. What are they? Spotties?
Old spot.
Old spot? This is a full-fledged farm. It's pretty incredible. Bunch of goats.
Slightly different from our backyard setting.
Yeah, well, not everyone can have a bunch of acreage, but I love that they use it to the max. As I guess everyone who tries to do their own version of homesteading, everyone tries to use the most they can. Caleb, what do you think? Is this fun?
Yeah. Very disgusting.
And disgusting, all the dirt, the mud?
Yeah.
Yeah, the rain didn't help, huh?
Made it worse.
That is the West Indian blueberry. They're giant, they grow huge here.
Oh my gosh. Caleb needs one of those, like full time. Go wear yourself out. All right, so we're gonna walk through the high tunnel, but first the pig yard is right next to it, so we're gonna take a look at the pigs first.
The high tunnel is absolutely incredible.
Hi, Tana.
High tunnel! Oh, look at the little piggies.
Hey, Piggy.
Hello, little man. Or sow.
They're literally bathing in
Big sow. They're digging this water.
Yeah, they're digging the mud.
Oh, hi, little piggy.
So these are their newest pigs, or the old spots. They actually just traded them. They gave a Mangalitsa feeder and breeder and traded for an old spot feeder and breeder. So the big one is a sow that they're going to maintain as a breeder, so she'll have piglets. And the smaller one actually is a feeder that they are housing temporarily in here with her because they have other feeder pigs that are much bigger. So they've been kind of meeting through the fence, and he'll be moving into that feeder yard in a little bit because feeder pigs and breeder pigs are not fed the same.
So what's the difference between a feeder and a breeder? Just treat me like I've never seen a pig before in real life.
So a feeder pig, you're going to feed it to get fat. Like you want feeder pigs to be big. You want
Eventual
that
dinner
fat.
pig?
Yes.
Okay.
A feeder pig is a pig that you're going to butcher. A breeder, you want them to be in the best physical shape possible. So you don't want a ton of fat on them. You want them nice and lean because a fat pig is an infertile pig, or they will have issues when farrowing or giving birth. So you keep them lean and you keep them healthy. I mean, I'm not saying that, feeder pigs are unhealthy, but they are too heavy to be bred. That's
and
why
of course you want them to have all that fat content and stuff.
Right, you want to have that fat. But people will buy a hog at a fair and think they're going to breed it, and then they run into problems and lose the sow because she was actually too fat and she has problems giving birth.
Interesting.
Those are the Mangalitsa feeders. So they are a lot thicker than the breeders we'll take a look at in a minute. Even though they're younger, these are the offspring of the breeders that they have here. They were born here on the farm, and they are being fed appropriately to be future charcuterie meals.
Whereas these guys, the spots, are more like for pork and bacon and like sausages, right?
Yes.
Which that was actually something Jess explained to us yesterday that I totally didn't recognize. I guess I knew that from animal science years ago, but every type of pig is good or best for certain things. Now you could try to make bacon there, but it's not going to be as well. Bacon from that pig is going to be a lot better than what you would get when call bacon from those pigs. They're just designed a little differently. Hi, Mama.
It's just like with anything, certain breeds are better for the production of one thing over something else.
I mean, look at that hair. Hi.
Mama.
It's a total different animal than what you see on the hairless, or not hairless, but almost bald looking pigs.
Now these pigs, the hair is not soft. It's still pig hair, it's just a lot more of it.
Color makes no difference, I assume, that they're just, that's the...
No. But you can see the difference in the build between these leaner sows and the feeder pigs over there. Those guys are like round things with legs, and these girls are much more trim.
There's a boy up here, we'll show you in a sec.
Yeah, he's in a separate pen.
Everybody meet Gerard. He is a Mangalitsa boar. He's pretty massive.
He's a big boy.
He's like probably a few hundred pounds.
Oh yeah, easily.
What's up, man?
You can see he's got tusks in there.
You are quite a specimen. Business in the front, business in the back, party all over. This is their wheeling chicken tractor thing.
Oh,
Chickshaw. And obviously it's got the handle there in the front. They can pull it around to move it from spot to spot. How they have their chicken area set up is this fence that's electrified to keep predators out. Random chicken just walked right out of it. That's interesting. Probably a hole there that has to be fixed up. But these chickens just they go in there, and you can kind of see that door is closed at the moment. When it gets late enough in the morning, that door will open and the chickens will be able to come right out into the yard. These ones are obviously a lot smaller, and they kind of just camp right underneath it until they learn how to go in and out of the, chickshaw.
Welcome to the high tunnel. This is a season extension tool that during the growing season, they just open up the sides and you have more growing space. So let's check it out.
I love the open sides. Right now it's all rolled up because it's, nice weather. Closes down in the cool or cold winter, and they can grow things in a more climate controlled area. Not totally climate controlled, but a lot warmer than the outside.
Right, it's a season extension. It's not going to replace the growing season, but it will keep things from freezing a little longer. So the difference between a determinate and an indeterminate tomato are kind of how much it's going to grow. An indeterminate tomato will keep producing tomatoes. It has an indeterminate number of tomatoes that it will produce, while its determinate variety is only going to get so big and only produce so many tomatoes. So you don't want to prune a determinate tomato.
It's like you break off a branch and you're taking literally a specified number out.
Right. So they get less intense pruning in an effort to grow as much food as possible.
So what are all of the, they're growing what? Tomatoes in the middle aisle, pretty much exclusively, with maybe some flowers.
Yeah, there's a few volunteer flowers. There's cucumbers here on the end with the arch trellis here that are, they don't require pollination, so she thought that they would be okay in here. And then on the side here, these are all peppers. These are their spicy peppers, and their sweet peppers are on the other side, I believe. Jess and Maya are moving to South Carolina here in just a handful of weeks. In the first week of August, they're going to move. And so they've
Which means to me, all this work they've put in is absolutely, it's amazing, but they're saying goodbye to it to pretty much start from scratch, right?
Yeah, they're going to an undeveloped property in South Carolina, and they're starting over completely from scratch. But that's a good thing and a bad thing, is that, they can take the mistakes that they've learned from, and they can not do the same thing. So they can do everything fresh, exactly how they want to do it. But it is a lot of input financially and elbow grease.
I'm just thinking the people that get this, well, we actually know who they are. They're getting something that's pretty much ready-made, as Jess and Maya imagined it and put it together, and they're going to get to make it their own. But what do you know about what they're going to do with this area?
So the people who bought this property, Whispering Willow Farm, They are going to be just pretty much taking it over as is, and so they'll kind of see the harvest through, but they mostly produce cut flowers. So they'll grow food for their family, but they're going to put more emphasis on growing cutting flowers because that is what their business and that's what they do.
That's pretty cool.
So this section here is eggplants, and I actually can see they do have some flea beetle damage on them. And this is the kind of stuff that's like totally foreign to me because it's like I don't have these kinds of insects in my growing area. So it's really interesting to see the struggles that they have versus the struggles that I have. And because like our big thing is aphids, like bad aphids. But aphids don't do the same kind of damage as a flea beetle does, or as
pile up and look disgusting.
now tomato hornworms are a thing where we live, but we have so many wasps that I've never seen one because wasps actually eat tomato hornworms. And so it's just interesting to compare the different issues that every gardener struggles with in different areas. And these tomato plants in particular are just gorgeous. So this variety is called a Splash of Cream, and it's a variegated variety that, oh my goodness, they are just beautiful. Now I have grown a variegated tomato before that was actually called a Painted Lady tomato. But the thing with variegated tomatoes is that when they are in direct sunlight, the variegation will fade. So you get a plant that's all beautiful and splashy when you first plant it, but by the time it's mature, there's no variegation on it. So she planted these in the high tunnel, which has a 50% shade cloth on it, and the variegation is staying true, and it's on even the bigger leaves, and they're beautiful. Like, see, these are just gorgeous.
Now, to an untrained eye, it looks like a disease or sunburn. To nerds like Amanda and Jess, they get so stinking giddy over this. It's hilarious.
On purpose.
I wish I had filmed you two looking at that plant yesterday. It was like, wow, nerds. And, you know,
kindred spirits,
yes.
not nerds.
Onions, anyone? Raise your hand if you know what this plant is. You'd have to look underground to recognize it, I think. Did your hand go up? It is a
Ginger.
ginger. This is the potato patch. Audrey and Toby are hanging out. I just watched Audrey bite it, running through the mud, and tried to stop. And didn't. Landed right on her butt. This is so good for the kids to just have friends to hang out with and play outside, and Jess's kids and and our kids are having a good time. Oh yes, and your kids are having a good time too. This is Mack and Mercy. There was a whole story that Jess told us about their birth and how Mercy was basically given up for dead because Mack and Mercy at the same time were coming out, and it was like a very scary kidding where even the mom's life was in danger, and fortunately they were able to save them all. But it was a really scary kidding, and Mercy was able to live. Surprisingly, she just decided she was going to make it, and all three of them are alive right now, so that's good. And they're doing great, and man, look at his spots. He's gorgeous. Speaking of spots,
That's Nestle.
Nestle. He got a little something on your back. Yeah, these are like goats on stilts compared to ours.
So behind me over here is Jess's like big beautiful raised bed garden, and we will be sharing some of that as we're here, but we are here for multiple days, so we don't want to like bombard everybody with everything that's here, because really you could spend all day out here and probably not find everything that there is on this farm. It's incredible. We have all sorts of adventures and fun things that we're going to be sharing with you guys while we're here. We are also going to have a really fun interview with Miss Audrey and Jess that we will be sharing with you at some point, and it's going to be awesome. She's super excited. She's got a whole list of questions that she's going to ask Jess about the farm and about homesteading, and it's just going to be really fun, I think. But these are questions that our 8-year-old came up with on her own. They're not coached questions. They're things that she genuinely wants to learn about Jess's farm, which I think is really cool. It is hilarious how quickly our kids have assimilated into the farm here. Like, they hit the ground running and they just like disappeared with the kids to play. And Caleb just walks through the house and just goes, "Hey Jess," and just keeps on going. Like, we know you already, even though they had never met her before yesterday. They have been watching her YouTube channel with me for a long time. They've heard all the stories of my experiences that I've had with Jess and my conversations with Jess. So they're just like, you're just another person in our lives. Like,
Totally accepted.
totally accepted. It was pretty awesome.
Well, it was funny because, like, we were going to go on our double date, and I was so convinced that I told Michaela, I was like, probably won't be the first night because I don't want their kids to feel, like, abandoned, like, in a strange place with strangers. I don't want them to be uncomfortable. So we should probably go on our double date later. And, like, y'all got here, like, 3 minutes later, the kids are all gone playing. I'm like, or tonight would be a good night. Tonight would be fine.
You got one like
They don't have issues.
No, kitty, give me all the kitty love.
He loves me because I picked him up like this and was like,
Yeah. Kitties are cool.
So have you been enjoying your trip?
We've been loving the trip. Like, oh my gosh, it's like our first big family vacation because we were like, I'm not taking little kids, I'm not taking toddlers, I'm not doing diapers on a vacation, and I want them to actually remember.
Remember it, right.
Because it's a lot of expense and effort and stress to
Yeah.
travel with children.
Yeah.
So to have them actually have the memory of the trip,
Well, I think they'll
It's a
have
big
lots
deal.
of farm kid memories. They've taken
Yes.
to it well.
they were like months.
Yeah.
Mom, how long until we get to go play on the farm?
So they caught fireflies, had a run-in with a snake,
Yes. And
Caleb
there's
caught
toads.
3 toads.
caught toads,
Yeah.
toady,
Yes,
Toad.
3
And Toady
toadies.
Jr.
and they've had many feet band-aids.
Yes.
We've gone through a few
Yes.
feet.
All 3 of them have torn a foot open.
So yeah, I mean they've
But no tears. They're all brave.
Yeah, no.
Character building.
Yeah, character building. So I mean they've really gone through the checklist of farm kids.
This is true.
Yeah.
They've picked things and eaten them,
Yes.
which
yes,
they do that at
have.
home. But
But this was different. It
Yeah.
was like a real farm.
well, we've enjoyed it. I'm glad that you guys were able to come.
Yeah.
And we have some crazy adventures tomorrow.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, big fun
Total
tomorrow.
big fun surprise for everyone to see.
Yes.
I almost said. Then he said big fun surprise. I'm like,
That's called clickbait. Tune in tomorrow.
I almost said
Tune in to
surprise.
City Sowers next time as Roots and Refuge and City Sowers go wild.
So we will definitely be bringing you guys along on our fun new secret adventure tomorrow. As always, this is your urban nerd with a goat herd telling you can grow
where
you're planted.
I have
All
a
right.
firefly.
You what? Say it again.
I caught a firefly.
No kidding.
No.
Can we see it?
It won't light up.
Just be patient.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it light up? There's a bunch of fireflies over there.
Well, let's go see if we can find them. Go, 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 go.